my monsters. Do you really believe this world was built for honest people? Or are you deceiving yourself by calling your weakness kindness? The truth is a little ugly, and you probably won't like it. In this world, people do not measure you by your goodness. They measure you by your usefulness. You smile, and people use you. You stay soft, and people take you lightly. You laugh, and people stop valuing you. You hide your strength, and people underestimate you again and again. And this continues until one day you disappear from your own story. Society taught you to be good, to be obedient, to care about others. But nobody told you that to survive in this world, goodness alone is not enough. You keep sacrificing yourself for others. You keep proving your innocence. You keep trying to show everyone that you have good intentions. But that is exactly where your greatest weakness begins. Power never explains itself. Power simply exists. The moment you start explaining yourself to everyone, you silently admit that you are seeking approval, and approval is a form of weakness. Now understand one thing. The most dangerous people in this world are not the ones who shout. They are the ones who remain silent, the ones who observe. They stay quiet, and when the moment is right, they strike. Since childhood you were taught, say what is in your heart, but the real players understand something different. The less a person speaks, the more control they possess, and this is where the story changes. You believed that to win, you needed to become even kinder, but the truth is that until you learn how to ignore, how to detach, and how to stop seeking everyone's approval, you will remain a victim of other people's games. The person who can control your attention can control your mind. As Niccolo Machiavelli warned centuries ago, the person who tries to please everyone eventually loses himself. Now ask yourself, if kindness has become your greatest weakness, are you prepared to let it go? Or will you continue living inside the same illusion, where you are good, but never powerful? And if you truly want power, what is the first thing you must sacrifice? Your image, that carefully crafted mask you have protected for years. The mask designed to make people think you are always good, because the truth is simple. As long as you need others to see you as a good person, you remain trapped by their opinions. You become their puppet. You think people respect your kindness, but often they are simply testing your boundaries. Every time you are afraid to say no, every time you laugh off someone's disrespect, every time you tolerate what should never have been tolerated, you teach people exactly how badly they can treat you. Machiavelli argued that if people love you, they stay only as long as it benefits them. But if they fear you, they hesitate before standing against you. And this is where another illusion shatters. You were taught that love always wins. But in the real world, fear is often more stable, because love changes. Fear rarely does. You must understand that every relationship contains a hidden balance of power. Friends, family, workplaces, everywhere. Someone leads, someone follows. And if you never choose to protect your position, the world will gladly push you downward. According to the prince, a ruler must understand when to appear kind and when to become ruthless. It is not a choice, it is a skill. The problem is this: you become kind every single time because you are afraid. Afraid that if people see your real side, they will leave. But think about it. If someone only likes you because of your kindness, would they ever be able to handle your strength? This is the point where 99% of people give up. Instead of breaking their limits, they become comfortable inside them. But the real player chooses a different path. He says no without guilt. He ignores people without explanations. He defines his own value without seeking permission. And most dangerous of all, he understands that everyone is replaceable. Everyone. As Niccolo Machiavelli suggested, if you want to maintain power, you must learn not to become emotionally dependent on people. You must learn to think strategically. Now here is another bitter truth. Your kindness is respected only as long as it remains useful. The day you say no, many of the same people will suddenly call you rude. So the question is no longer whether you are good or bad. The real question is, are you in control, or are you being controlled? Because in this game, you either make moves, or become part of someone else's plan. And if you believe you can win every power game without understanding its darker realities, then you may still be living inside one of the biggest lies you were taught growing up. But the real secret is still ahead. Because power does not come only from saying no. It does not come only from ignoring people. Power comes from something far deeper, something most people never truly understand. And that single thing determines whether you become the hunter or the hunted. That thing is your controlled image, not your true identity, not your real personality, but the version of yourself that you choose to reveal to the world. This is where the game becomes real. You were taught that authenticity means showing everything exactly as it is, but the truth is different. Showing yourself without any filter is a luxury. It is not power. Machiavelli argued that a wise ruler never reveals his entire truth, because the person who is completely understood it can no longer create uncertainty, and uncertainty is power. Think about it. When people know exactly who you are, when they know when you will get angry, when you will forgive, when you will surrender, then every move you make becomes predictable. And the moment you become predictable, you become vulnerable. The moment you are fully predicted, the game is already over. Its real power is not in being good or bad. Its power lies in being uncertain, unpredictable, sometimes kind, sometimes cold, sometimes close, sometimes completely distant, so that no one can ever be certain of your next move. According to the prince, a ruler must possess both the strength of a lion and the cunning of a fox. The lion frightens enemies, the fox recognizes traps, but most people choose only one side. They either dream of becoming a lion, or they focus entirely on being a good person, and that imbalance is what makes them weak. Now listen to an even deeper truth. Powerful people do not merely react. They do not even simply respond. They design every conversation, every silence, every distance, every glance. Everything becomes part of a larger strategy. When someone ignores you, you become restless. But when you ignore someone at the right time and for the right reason, they become restless. And that restlessness is often your first victory. As Niccolo Machiavelli warned, keep people close enough to be useful, but distant enough to be unable to harm you. This is where most people make a mistake. They either reveal everything, or they hide everything. But the real player operates in the middle. He builds trust, but never reveals the entire truth. He smiles, but not for everyone. He listens, and remembers everything. Slowly, he begins to understand the weaknesses of the people around him, because every person has a price. For some, it is praise. For others, attention. For others, fear. Now think about this. If you become someone's necessity, would they willingly stand against you? That is real control. Not forcing people to stay, but making them feel incomplete without your presence, while never becoming dependent on theirs. But there is a danger hidden inside this path. As you begin to understand the game, the old version of you starts to disappear. The version that trusted without thinking. The version that opened its heart to everyone. The version that believed every smile was genuine. When you look at yourself in the mirror and ask, am I still the same person, or have I already become something else? Because once you step onto this path, coming back is not easy. And now the real question is not whether you can become powerful. The real question is, are you ready to face the person you are becoming? Because this is where the game becomes dangerous. You thought this was just about changing a few habits, speaking less, ignoring more, staying detached, but the truth goes much deeper. This is not a change in behavior. This is a transformation of identity. And not everyone has the courage to go this far. As Machiavelli suggests, a wise man must learn to bend his nature according to circumstances. Because rigid principles in a changing world often become a weakness. Now listen carefully. You do not need to become evil. You need to adapt according to necessity. Sometimes stone, sometimes stone, sometimes shadow, sometimes storm. But deep inside, there is only one thing you must remain loyal to: your power. Because the day you allow your emotions to sit above your decisions, that is the day you hand your control to someone else. Have you noticed? Some people walk into a room without shouting, without explaining anything, and still the entire atmosphere changes. They say very little, yet people automatically adjust to them. Why? Because they have mastered one thing: unspoken authority. According to the prince, a ruler's presence alone can be his first weapon. He does not always need to fight. His presence wins half the battle before it even begins. But you keep trying to prove yourself. You speak so people understand you. You explain so people agree with you. You bend so people stay with you. But powerful people stay quiet so others keep guessing. They maintain distance so others keep trying. They are never fully available, so their value never disappears. This is where your biggest change must happen. Stop being available to everyone, because what is always available is never truly valuable. As Machiavelli warned, if you want people to take you seriously, you must make them fear losing you. And fear is not created through words. It is created when you suddenly step back without explanation, when you disappear without justification, when you show that you do not need anyone. That is the moment people start seeing you differently. But here is the final illusion breaking. You think once you gain power, life becomes peaceful. Wrong. More power means more resistance, more enemies, more strategies against you. This game never ends, and those who learn to play it never truly relax. They remain alert, always. Now the final truth. You must choose. Do you want to live as a good person, liked by many, but taken seriously by few? Or do you want to become someone who is not fully understood, slightly feared, but never ignored? Because in this world, either you are used, or you learn to understand the game and use it first. There is no middle path. And now that you know this, ask yourself, can you really go back to being the old version of yourself after seeing what cannot be unseen? If you have understood how the world really works, then the next step is even more dangerous. Because here we shift from thinking to training. We will show you the game that only 1% of people ever learn to play and win. Subscribe, because what comes next will either change you completely or make you realize how blind you were until now.